The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Welcome back, students. How are you all? Fine. So, I think you all are safe at home. Let me share a tip with you. Okay. Have vegetables and lime water. Okay. It will help you to improve your immunity. Stay hydrated. Okay, students. Don't go outside unnecessarily. Clear? So, last class we have discussed about the number of predefined functions. Is it? What are that? Yes. Character functions, string functions, is it? Input and output functions. Next we are going to discuss about the mathematical predefined functions. Using mathematical predefined functions in a C++ program, you have to use a header file C math. Okay. And you have the 4 type of predefined functions. That is, first one is absolute. Absolute, which help to display an absolute value of a number without a sign. Okay. Absolute value means without sign, positive or negative. For example, you are giving a value as minus 25 means it will display only 25. So you have to use with the data type. Int, absolute, inside the bracket you can give the value. Okay. And next is about square root. So can you say that what is the use of square root function? Yes, it gives a square root of a number. Is it? If you are giving the value as 25 means it displays the value 5. Is it? And next is power function. Can you say that what is its use? Yes, which displays a power of a number. That means you are giving 5 cube means which displays the value. If you are giving the number as 2 raised to 3, what is the answer? 8. It will display the value 8. Okay. So like this you can displace the contents in a C++ program. So is upper. What is its use? Yes. To check whether a character is capital letter or small letter. If it is an uppercase or lowercase. Is it? Yes. So, if you are giving a character inside a function to check lowercase or uppercase means it will display. If it is uppercase means it gives a value as 1. Okay. Otherwise, it gives an output as 0. Okay. And the next function is about is lower. Can you say that what is its use? Yes, to check a character is in a lowercase or uppercase. If it is lowercase means it will display the value as 1 or 0. Is it? Next is the function is alpha. So what is the use of it? Is alpha is used to check whether a character is alphabet or not. Okay. to check if you are giving a character within a single quotes, it will check as a character or number. Okay, if it is a alphabet means it will give a value as 1, otherwise it return 0. And the next character function is digit. It's used to check whether a character is, if you are giving a value, whether it is number or alphabet. If it is digit mean it returns value as 1 or else 0. Okay. And next is alnum. Alnum means alpha numeric or not, is it? If it is alpha numeric means it will display the value as 1, otherwise 0. Okay. And next is to upper. What is to upper? Converting into uppercase letter. If you are giving a character, it will convert the value into uppercase. Okay. Likewise, you have the another function that is lower. Okay, students. What is its use? Yes, to convert into lowercase functions. Same functions you have to study in JavaScript also in a different method. Okay. So, be thorough with these functions. Okay. It will help you to perform a program. Clear? And we also have a practical programs using these functions. Okay. So these are the main character functions and mathematical predefined functions in C++. So till this we have discussed about the predefined functions, one type of a function in C++. Next we are going to discuss about the user-defined functions. So can you say what is an user-defined function? A programmer can define or can write a particular function for a program, is it? So we'll see how we can write and what is the syntax of it. Okay, so here we have a particular type or a particular syntax to write a function inside a program. Okay, so first we have to declare its data type, and next is function name and bracket, that is you have to include in arguments, that is variables or any content, and finally inside we have a function body. So mainly we are using a particular function, that is main function. You will see that, is it? You can see in every C++ program how it is declaring. The first one, it is int main, is it? Int is a data type, main it is a function name, and another one is arguments. And inside after the brackets we are using some comments or statements, that is function body. Like this only you have to define a functions. Every program it is a user defined functions we are including, is it? So that is a function definition. What is that? First one is data type, another one is function name, argument list, is it? And the function body. So you have an example, that main function, is it? That is known as function header. Int main, the first one, data type, function name and argument list, that is known as function header. And the next one is statements within a function body. Okay, after the bracket it is known as function body. And if you are giving any name without, if you are including another function inside a program without this main function, means it is known as function name. You can use any identifiers. Okay, so these are the things, and inside you can include any parameters or variables inside that bracket of a function header, that is known as argument list. Okay, so here you can see the two functions, example functions. Okay, here the void sum1, that is the first function, and here it is. After the bracket you have included some statements. Here it is it? The first one is int, that is a data type. We have declared the some variables to accept two variables, and we are going to calculate the sum. That is the function. So here we are giving the function header as void sum1 and the bracket. Here the data type is void. And the second function is int sum, and after that statements. Is it? So the first function, which will not give any return value. Why it is so? Yes, we are using the void data function. It is a null data type. Second one, which gives a value because it is an int data type. Clear? And the next type function is inside the bracket. In the function header we are given some variables, that is arguments. Clear? The first function, it is void sum3, so it will not return any value. And fourth function, we have the int data type. So directly you don't want to declare that variable inside the function body. That is the use of argument list. Okay, so here you will get a return value. Clear? So like this only we are declaring the functions using the function definition. First one should be function header, second one the function body. Is it? So next one is prototype of the functions. Can you see what is the prototype? A function prototype is a declaration of a function by which compiler is provided with the information about the function. That is, if you are defining a function, a compiler get a particular idea and the variables which you are using inside a program. Okay, what is the data type and what type of arguments you are using inside. Clear? So that is the function prototype. That means int sum1, you are giving that argument list int a and b. So that is a prototype. You have to arrange your function contents inside a program within a format. That is known as function prototype. Clear? And the next one is arguments of a function. We have seen the arguments in that sum4 function. Is it? Int sum, int a and b inside that. Is it? So generally in a C++ program we have two type of arguments, formal arguments and actual arguments. The variables which is passing the values inside the program function, it is known as arguments. So such arguments we can categorize into two types, formal arguments and actual arguments. Okay. So it will be displaying in a prototype of a function. So formal arguments means the variables which is used inside the function definition. Okay, within that function definition inside that function. That is known as formal arguments. And actual arguments means the variables which is using inside a program. Statements. Okay, in a function body. It is known as actual arguments. Clear? So if you are using some variables inside a function prototype, it is known as dummy variables or dummy arguments. Okay, students. So the arguments means the variables which is using inside a function definition. If it is using inside the function definition means it is known as formal arguments. Inside the function body means it is known as actual arguments. Okay. Here you can see an example of a formal and actual arguments. So we are returning function for calculating a simple interest. So we have written a particular function, separate function to calculate the simple interest. Okay, with the data type float and function name is simple interest, and that arguments are P, N and R. And we are calculating with the equation amount equal to P into PNR by 100. Is it? Yes. So here in the function call, you are applying these equation or function into that program just by giving the function name. You can use that. So using such commands, it is known as actual arguments. That is known as function call. You can directly use the function name simple interest by giving the values directly. That is a function call one. Or else you can input the values through the keyboard. That is the second function call here. Can you see that examples? Yes. So these are the example of a function declaration and function call. Okay. So next is how we can use a default argument, and what is a default argument in a function. So if you are giving a value directly, or already if you are giving a value to the default to the arguments in a function, definition is known as default arguments. So a formal argument which got the value during the declaration of a function, it is known as default argument. Here you can see that int time seconds, we are calculating that contains M and S have already have declared the value, that is 0. So while calculating, it will accept the particular values on that time. Okay, the first one you can see that you can give the value directly. It will calculate the particular content and it will display the answer. If you didn't given the value of that arguments, means you will get the value from the default arguments. Okay, so that is the use of default arguments. Clear? And next is the method of calling function. How you can include a function inside a program, and what is the method. So generally, if you are calling a function by call by value or pass by value method or call by reference method. Okay, so call by value method means the actual argument is passed to the formal arguments. So what is the formal arguments? The arguments which is inside the function definition, is it? An actual argument means the variables which is inside the program, is it? So if you are passing or if you are accessing the formal arguments, the actual argument is passed to that variable and it will be saved in that particular variable. Clear? It's have a particular memory location. And if you are passing another value, means again if you are calculating another section, means it will save in a separate memory. So we won't lose the contents. That is the use of pass by value method or call by value method. Okay. And the next is call by reference method. Here the actual argument is passing to formal arguments but with a reference variable. That means it shares the memory location. That reference variable means ampersand symbol, which defines the memory location of a variable. Okay, so it will share the memory location. So in this type of function call, the values which is already present in that memory location will be erased. Okay. So these are the use of call by reference and call by value method. The ampersand symbol is known as reference variable. Okay, which is we have declaring in that argument list. Clear? So these are the use of user defined functions, how to use in a program, how to define the functions inside the program. Okay, clear? Next is we are going to discuss about scope and life of a variable. That means where we can use the value, till which statements we can apply the particular variables. Okay. Scope means how we can, in which extent we can use in a program. So local scope means which is used outside the functions. Only it cannot use. Local scope means only it can use inside that particular function. Okay, that is formal arguments. And global scope means we can use all through the program, but it have to declare outside the with the function header. It have to declare the function header. Okay, after the using namespace std we have to declare such function variables. Okay, such variables are known as global variables, and the variables which is using inside the local function or a local scope means it is known as local variable. Clear? Okay, it's a main question. You will get to write the differences between local scope variables and functions. Here you can see an example. After the function headers using namespace std, here I am using that int cb. Here cb to calculating the cube of a number. Here cb is the global variable. And next is we are using the function void test. Okay, that is the function header. And next we have using the function int cube. It is a local function. Only we are using inside that particular void test function. And next is cb equal to cube x. So like this we can't call a function inside with that. So it is a invalid function call. And next is the main statements in a program. Int main x equal to 5 test. We can call that function inside the program. It is a local function we are calling here. And cb equal to cube of x. We can use that function. cb, it is a global variable, we can include in that. And next is int cube. It is another function. Here we can use that function. It is a global function declaration. Okay. So like this you can include the function declaration inside the program. So be thorough with that local and global variables and the scope of the variables and the functions. Okay students. So next is the difference between local and global functions and local and global variables. So these are the main content we are studying in this chapter. So till this we have discussed about different C++ functions, that is predefined functions and user defined functions, and the declaration of the user defined functions and how to access in a program. Okay. So I think you have understood the content. So these are the 3 chapters we have discussed about the C++ programs, and the next chapter onwards we are going for the HTML contents. Okay, this is the end of the C++ programming contents. So thorough with that. If you have any doubt, please contact me. Okay.